Welcome back to Mulu's Cooking. How's everybody? I am sorry I haven't been putting a video out. It's been several months and I just been busy. First we started to do a kitchen project, and that led from one to another, and we didn't expect it will take this long, but nevertheless it's done nice. I'll show you guys. I'll make a video one day about the kitchen, but today I'm going to make collard green, and it's really delicious. I'm going to show you how I cook it. If I cook the collard green, I have a specific way of the way I cook it, so we're gonna see from start to end how I prepare it, and that's very important. Also what you shouldn't throw away too. And so let me go ahead and start, and we'll be cooking soon. So this is the collard green right here, and it's huge as you can see, and I'll just take this out. But first we're gonna need 2 big bowls. So I'm going to use, the reason we need 2 big bowls is so that we can rinse it really well. So I will take this, as you can see, I'm gonna take the stem away because it's just easier to cut it. As I do this, it has a lot of steps, and I honestly don't know how else to make this, but the steps that I come with, I'm sure a lot of people have a different way of cooking the collard green, but I like this way. One, I don't waste that much of it because I'm going to chop this too, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And so I just keep this aside while I do this and finish it all, and I'll fill up the bowl with water, and we're going to wash it really good and take all the sand out. So I'm going to finish that, and then I'll come back and show you guys when we start to. Okay, so I filled it up with water. I'm going to wash it. I should have reduced it so I can get the sand out. So I'm just going to put the rest in the sink, and I'm just going to really open it up and rinse it really well, because it's very important you individually rinse it because it has sand and you really don't want the sand. You don't want to be eating sand. So once I do this, this is the second water, so I'm rinsing it also in the other small bowl, so that will be the third one, I think, actually. And I dump the water and I check for sand, and it looks really good. I don't have sand at all, so this is my last rinse. I'm just going to put it on the strainer. Just gonna let it strain until you get to all the other things. By then it should be fine. Now we're gonna wash the stem. You rinse it really well, with deep water too, because the stem itself has a sand. Now I'm gonna show you this stem. You're gonna break it like that, and if you don't hear pop and it breaks off, that means it's a little bit strainy, and you just gotta feel where that pop. This one is really good. It's very crispy, and that means it's really fresh and delicious. But this one, you can see it's really straining, and we're gonna have to cut it again until we find that fresh and crispy there. That's where it pop up, and when I even pull it, you don't see any straining, so that's good. I'm going to finish it that way, wash and rinse it, and we're gonna come back and check what we're gonna do next. Now that I'm done, I'm gonna put it in the towel and spread it. I already cleaned all of them, spread it really far apart, and I'm going to roll it just so the towel absorbs the water, and then just put it on the side. All right, so what we need now to make the collard green is, I have here 4 chicken thigh and 1 large onion, a few of peppers, and all garlic, and 1 Maggi cube, and 1/4 olive oil. And this is what we need. I really like this. It's Labneh, but if you can't find this, I found this at the Lebanese store, but if you cannot find this, you can use Philadelphia cream, you know, plain or the ones with flavor, but it can only be chive and garlic, or plain. That's the one of you can choose. But since I found this, I have tried it with this, came out really good, so this is what I'm gonna use. But if you can't find this, you can use the spread the cream, the Philadelphia cream. And so here is everything. I got everything here, and what's in here is salt, black pepper, complete seasoning, and here is the main one, and cardamom. I found this at Publix. I hope you can find it, and actually you can use this pretty much in anything you want to cook. It's really good spice to have home, so go ahead, add this to your kitchen spice. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop everything, and then we came back to do the greens. But first I wanted to show you guys the ingredients. All right, I chopped everything. Now we're gonna start to cook. So I put my oil. I use olive oil, but it's up to you, whatever you want to use. And then I'm just gonna add the onion, and I'm gonna cook it for a little while, and then we come back and check it again. Okay, so they are dry and ready to be chopped. So a lot of people, they just cut it like pieces like this, or some people blend it with everything. I personally do not like it blended at all, or not even chopped like this. So what I do is like this. So I split in half. You know, it is definitely time consuming, but it's worth it. It's worth it once you make it. It's delicious, and just take your time, split in half. I can start from halfway and come slowly and cut it in half, and do the same the other half if it's long one, like that. So once I get them, a bunch of them ready like this, and I just go hold it as tight as I can and chop them really small. And you can do small at a time, that way it's easier to chop it. So here's why I do not like blended or make it chopped big pieces. If you blend it, the flavor of the green and this, it becomes so fine, and it takes out everything. It becomes bitter when you cook it, right? And if you leave it chunks like these big pieces, and when you eat it you can feel the chunk, you know, it's kind of really, you gotta chew it. Sometimes it doesn't cook evenly, and I don't know, I just never liked it. So I come up with this. I was like, how can I make this green to taste really good? So I chop them all like this small, right? And I do not double it, because when you do, you I feel like you can, by chopping it so much, you can get the juice, you know, the bitter come out. And but if you leave it like this, you cook it simply with the green, and I will be chopping the green like this too, and you leave it like this and you cook it like this, and everything you will see when it's done, it's just so beautiful. So that's how I'm gonna chop this whole thing, and I'll show you guys once we're done. And here's the onion, ready cooking. Smells wonderful. I didn't even put the rest of the ingredients, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the peppers. And after this I'm gonna cook it slow, because I'm gonna cook it with everything else too. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add everything, all the ingredients that I have here. And you can reduce the heat once you do this. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I love the color. So this is what it looks like. I lowered the heat really low, and now here's everything that I chopped. And I'm gonna go ahead and add this, and this is gonna cook slowly. Make sure you get everything, and I'm gonna mix it thoroughly. First we're gonna cook this. You see what it looks like once it's cooked. But while this is cooking, we're gonna chop the green, the main one. And one of the reasons why you need this is because just if you use only the green, once you cook it, it's gonna be like about this much, you know, it's not enough. So that's why it's important you use this. But also it has a lot of benefits, the stem. As long as you know how to use it, you don't really have to get rid of it, you know. Okay, it's gonna cook slow. Okay, so this is how it's gonna go. You lay it out as many as you can handle, right? I think this is enough for me. And then I'm gonna wrap it around, and I'm gonna go ahead, chop it like that, and I'm gonna hold it equally, and then I'm gonna go ahead, start up here, chop it very thin, and hold it tight too, so you keep it rolled. You don't want it to be unrolled, because then it makes you work hard. It makes you you work harder. So keep it pressed, and once you're in control, you can go fast. And then what I do is, because as you can see it's rolled, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it in 3 places. just so the string is not too long. There you go. Okay, now I'm just gonna open the middle and I'm gonna add chicken. I'm just gonna let it cook together slowly, and that gives me a chance to finish the green. Just cover it up. Now this is, it's a vegetarian. I took half of this because I wanted to make this beef. Chicken. But here's the other half that I took, so I can cook vegetarian for me without no meat. And for the meat eaters, it's gonna be done with chicken. So we're gonna let this cook slowly. It smells so good. You see that? Doesn't that look so yummy? It looks cooked and it looks yummy, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the green that we chopped. I'm gonna go slowly and just dump the whole thing. There you go. I'm saving half of it for the other, for the vegetarian one, for me. And sometimes if you're unable to mix it because it's so full, all you gotta do is just try to tuck it under slow. You don't need to mix it right away. Just bring the green under the things that you were cooking. Just tuck it under, and it helps to cook it that way, and then it will be easier to, you see what I mean? Slowly the chicken is coming on top. And the process, we mix it, but not really well, so I'm gonna let it cook a little longer, so I come back and mix it again. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic, and the garlic is also, I divided in half. That's not the whole thing, and I'm gonna go ahead mix it. You see that? All that, when it gets the heat, see how much smaller it gets? Wow. Wow, look at that. And of course, everything else is cooked, but we need to cook the green. And make sure you mix it really well. Oh, it smells so good with the garlic. And I'm gonna leave it open up like this, so the liquid can also evaporate. I'm not gonna cover it. It is almost done. I'm gonna turn off the heat in a little bit, and then I'm gonna cool it down, and then we're gonna do the last step. So we're almost there. I try to make the video as short as I can. I'm sorry if it's too long. All right, so well, the other one is cooling down. I'm gonna finish this, the vegetarian one, or without the meat. Since this is cooked already, I don't need to cook it. I'm just gonna go ahead, add the other half of the green on top. There you go. Make sure you get every one of them because you work hard to chop it. So then I'm going to mix it well. Basically, I'm just gonna let this cook. There's not much different from the other one. All right, now we're ready to do the last thing. So I'm gonna use this glass pan, and I'm gonna go ahead and add first what we made. Make sure it's mixed evenly. Sometimes it the green kind of try to stay on its by itself, right? So then we're gonna fill up the bottom level first. Gonna go ahead and spread this evenly. Guys, I'm showing you this because something different, but you don't need to add any kind of cream. This by itself is just delicious meal. You could eat it with anything you wanted to eat it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the cream on top. It's like almost lasagna. I don't even know what to call it. Should I call it lasagna or something? Green lasagna. I think that would be a good name. As you can see, I'm trying to scrape it as thin as I can so that I don't have to spread it that much. You know, I don't have to waste my time. As it is, this thing takes a lot of time to cook. Even though it takes a lot of time to cook, you guys, it's worth it. Anything it takes time is worth it, isn't it? I think that's enough. I used about half. So even though it takes your time, just take the time and make it. And as you can see, if you just buy one patch that I got of the green, you will have that for several days. And if you have a lot of family, it will fit, you know, it will be enough for your whole family. So just go ahead and spread it like that. Don't worry if it seems, you know, hard to do this, or you think it's kind of messy. We're going to cover it again on top with the rest of the green that we made, but we want to make sure to spread it equally. And as it gets a little warmer, it kind of helps to spread easily. I think that's good enough. And now we're gonna go ahead and cover the rest as much as we can. I didn't know what to call it. Honestly, I think I might call it lasagna. What do you guys think? Why not? It should be lasagna. It's like almost the work is like lasagna. At least, you know, you don't have to put it in the oven. Once you do this, it cools down. You can put it in the fridge. I'm gonna try to cover all the areas. And now we're gonna do the vegetarian one for me without the chicken. I can eat the yogurt. I try not to, but with this dish I'm not going to deny myself because it's so good. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on the first one. So I'll just go ahead and put it here at our house. We eat it with I think that's enough for me, the cream, but in our house we eat this with bread. We love bread, but you can eat it also with chips. You can have this as a appetizer. You can have it as dinner, like when you have a company. This is one of delicious appetizer you can serve, or you can make it part of the meal. Since now they have different kind of chips that doesn't have it's not totally, you know, all bread, so that's good enough. And then I'll put the rest on top. Now we're gonna try this. But first we have to let it sit together so the flavor can go into the cream that we put in, right? Well, at least let's let it sit at least 30 minutes. And when you put it in the fridge, the more you eat it tomorrow, the next day, that's even gonna taste really delicious, even better. And yeah, you don't have to make it warm. You eat it cold. In our house, because it's so good, usually we don't have leftover, but if we do, you know, once in a while, then we will have it just cold. All right, guys, it's been cooling, and when I open the lid, it smells so good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut where I wanted to try. Well, obviously I'm not gonna try this, but I'm gonna take it out and my son is gonna try it. I'm just gonna take this much. You just take it from bottom to top. Make sure you There you go. And then we're gonna do the veggie one. I'm gonna take this, wipe it right there. Probably I'm gonna cut this in 4 places. And I'm gonna cut this one. So this will be my portion to try. Can you guys see that? So I'm gonna go ahead and try it. I have a pita bread right here. Opens up nicely. And the other thing is, yes, it's cooked, but it's not cooked to the point where it's really cooked. You know, you can still, when you chew it, you can still feel the freshness of the grain. And wow. Oh my God, it's so delicious. So delicious. The flavor is unbelievable. I mean, I cannot describe it, how much flavor it has. Oh my God. And in Ethiopian language, when you make something delicious like that, they say Ijibarak, means the hand cooked it may be blessed. And that's all I can say about my hand. It's so delicious. So you guys, you have to make it, you have to try it yourself. Like me telling you like this, it just doesn't do it justice. So if you know anyone might like this, or if you're curious, you want to try it, you should. I know the preparation, the work is a lot, but once you make it like that and you eat it, it's healthy, it's worth it. It is really worth it. And when we work for something, you want you know the result to be good and healthy and delicious. It does take time. It does take you know, your strength and whatever you might have to put in it. So I don't mind it. I loved it. But if for whatever reason you don't have time, you cannot use this green, you can actually make it with the spinach. I have made it with the spinach and it comes out just as perfect. You can even use the frozen spinach. And but you can have it as an appetizer. You can have it, you can take it to a guest home, whatever you want to do. So I'm not gonna talk so much, you know what I mean. And I hope you guys will try it. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share the video. And thank you for watching me. Until I see you guys with another video, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.